Hey, we made it to another race. 2020's been a year, hasn't it?
It has been a year.
But I'm glad we made it back. And Dutch Sport Park, this is a good one. Hey, I didn't see, why aren't you in your gear there?
Broken leg. Broken leg on a riding trip. I got some fresh hardware put in.
Oh, nice. So your leg's going to be stronger now? Are you going to be faster? Is that what you're saying?
With my robot leg?
Yeah. We're off and running. Cross-dressed first. This little section, I didn't do well. I wasn't ready for the woods. I was ready for the track.
Only lucky it was short.
Yeah. Not that I did very good at the track either.
This is cool though, because I didn't get to see the woods. Normally, I'd have a take. Now I think I'll just coach.
Yeah. Well, you're not a great coach, I'll tell you that. These rollers, it was just, I didn't know what to do with this. This rut got so deep, it pushes you all over the place. You can see the lines coming out of here. I saw guys swap around all day.
Well, we were set up, we were pitting right by them, and I was watching right out of the gate. And the first few guys, really smooth, and then I saw some swapping, and I'm like, oh man, take her easy, buddy. Just take her easy.
Just get through it, yeah. Woo, looks good.
You jumped it.
I should have done that all day.
I assume you're going to do this one too?
Yeah, yep. Yeah. That was so much bigger than it looked. Not that I could make it anyways, but that was a long way. It's good on you guys that made it.
Yeah, the front runners, the first people to take off, the pros and A guys, I think they're A guys.
Faster than C?
Yeah. Not even all of them are jumping that.
Yeah. This was cool. Like, I like the idea of it, but you just couldn't get moving enough. Like, there wasn't enough flow to these sections where I felt like I could really jump it. Even coming up in these two tables here, I love this section. Last year, I was making up space on guys. Last year, this year, you didn't have the time to get a good run in.
Yeah, last year we took the track and then did a left.
Yeah.
You had the motocross line on it.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Okay, a guy already caught me.
Oh, I thought you were going wide to try this.
Yeah, well, that was what I was thinking, and then he caught right underneath me. You made it closer than I did, though.
It works. You walked away.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be encouraging anyone to jump anything because I don't think they're taking my advice.
Yeah.
Man, it was not dusty until the last time out. It was actually awesome all morning.
The woods were slick. It was slick out there, and there were slick spots. Coming up here, there's that water hole down at the bottom. A couple more corners from here. I about ended up in that water on the very first lap. I think this is the last lap here, because it's so dusty.
Oh, for sure. I already saw myself. I know where it was.
Okay.
I didn't have a lot going on, so I can remember.
Yeah, right here. I just slid and like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We talked about not ending up in that water, and I about ended up in that water.
It doesn't look like anyone else went in there. I'm surprised.
I'm a little surprised too. A little change of music scene here. Be a little bit faster music will make me feel like I'm going a little faster. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but it makes it look better.
Yeah, whatever you have to do. Oh, cool.
I didn't see anybody in there, and I'm glad I didn't end up in there.
I would have went right through it.
Oh, yep. Pretty short wood sections here. This felt pretty good moving through here. I got lost it there, but overall it felt pretty good.
Good flow to it.
Yeah. The enduro test was pretty tight. There were some slick spots. There were some steep hills, some big ruts. It was pretty gnarly in there.
I do remember a little bit of that from last year, but I'm guessing it was completely different this year.
Yeah, different. They took a different course all the way through, and there were some muddy spots here. Yeah.
Good line.
Yeah. I stuck with that line all day. It worked on lap 1 and it worked on lap 4. Different line through the woods. There are different tests through the woods this year. And they took a lot more of those hills and a lot more of that water for granted this time, setting it up.
What was that, a set of goggles on the ground? Did you see it?
No, there was tape all over the ground. I didn't see the goggles.
Here we go.
Oh, this grass section. I was the slowest guy out there, I think. it was so slippery at first. That got me nervous for the rest of the time, and it's not sandy like the rest of it was. There's more clay or more something in there that there's a lot of sliding going on.
It's holding moisture and it's out in the sun. So
Yeah.
something different. Looks easy.
Yeah, right.
Every time you came back, that
Yeah.
sand
Whoa.
section,
Yeah.
I
Whoa.
suck.
Whoa.
Or the
Yeah.
grass section,
Yeah.
I suck.
That's where everybody passed me all day.
Haven't seen anyone pass you here?
I think this is the one lap that nobody passed me.
You must have got a late start.
Yeah, probably. His bike broke down.
It looks like fun though.
It's fun, but it's just not my strong suit. Not that any of it is my strong suit, but it's not good for me. I know that.
Caught somebody.
Look, I think this is the one guy I caught in the grass section all day.
Last time out, I imagine everyone's pretty whooped.
Yeah, I sure was. I haven't been practicing much because of this Corona deal. I just haven't been on the bike hardly at all. I rode around the house a bit, 30 laps around the house or something like that, and went right to racing, and I'm feeling it today, man.
85 degrees and ready to race.
Yeah.
Wow.
This doesn't do it justice. That was steep and a little bit slippery.
Why don't you jump off it?
Yeah, well, last year was a little different. That was my hotline through there last year, just ripped through it.
Oh, that did look gnarly. And the GoPro kind of mellows it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about this GoPro mount. It's a little bit more wobbly than just mounting it right to the helmet. But there's a new helmet. I don't have anywhere to mount it.
Yeah, I think it's just sticking out a little further, and
Bouncing a little bit. Makes me look faster though.
I'm wagging my hand in front of the mic, you know?
Yeah, like you can see that.
Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, this is different. I get turned around.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this has to be the home stretch.
No, this is that step up there, and then you tuck back into the woods again before you jump back out on the track. But I was chasing a guy right here, and he was flying, I was flying, but we ended up out past that berm up there, and I forgot to turn. I was just excited to finally catch somebody. Not that it makes a difference, but I was gonna pass that guy.
You feel like you're riding better, you know?
Yeah, right.
I do like how the classes are split up now.
Man, does that make a big difference. I hope we stick with that.
Yeah, a few years ago, or whenever we did the first one and they weren't split up, I think I was looking backwards more than forward. But it looks like now, you know, there aren't that many people in front of you or behind you.
Yeah, you're all moving the same speed, and they pretty much stay broken up all day. I mean, I don't think I ran into any A-riders all day, or they ran into me. Maybe it's more correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think you're gonna be running into any of them. Oh, here we go. Are we gonna do it?
Yeah. Missed my shift out of here, so I couldn't.
Yeah, I missed my shift. Skip that single. Nice work. Okay.
I'm not sure if that was a good line or not, but that's what I did.
It looks like the line was pretty defined.
Here,
Yeah.
no doubt. There's some big ruts through there. Like it was a soft spot in the top here that you'd sink into, and then down in here there were ruts. And you couldn't really see them because they're in the shadow, and like you know they're there, but you can't really see them coming into them.
Yeah, just holding moisture while everything else is dustier than all get out. Let's see.
This BMX track again messed me up. Last year we were going the other way over this, and that was a lot worse than this. At least you could jump this a little bit.
That's a cool little section to finish it. You didn't double that?
I was working on it.
I could have doubled that on a BMX bike with a broken leg.
Well, the beginning of the day, it looked pretty steep, and I watched a guy in front of me go, kicked way up, and I thought, he's going over, and I just didn't do it, and so I didn't do it the rest of the day either.
How awesome is this start section?
Oh man, that's cool.
Get out of the sun.
We should start there.
Yeah.
Stand in line there. Yeah.
That's nice.
After the enduro test, this was a good woods. This is probably my favorite one that we've done so far, woods-wise. It was tough.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it at all. You know, I didn't know where to walk to or where to go. I actually just want to stay in the pits in the shade, to tell you the truth. But I'm excited to see it. How are the bridges?
They're fine.
Fine.
Yeah. Bridges weren't the problem. There's some pretty deep mud holes in a few spots, and then there were some pretty steep hills that you had to climb that just kept getting ruddier and more roots exposed as the day went on. And once you kick all that dirt away, it's steeper and steeper and steeper. And it's out here where there's a little bit of sun, it wasn't too bad. But man, the minute you got deep into the woods, there were some really slick spots. I tipped over a few times in the woods.
I believe that. Through here, get a little breeze, catch your breath.
So when's my teammate getting back to racing then?
That's a good question. I'm definitely doing at least 2 of these before the season's over.
You think? Yeah, in October?
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, the last 2.
Yeah, the last 2. Actually, I think there's 2 this year. I think there's one in Muskegon, maybe. That's back-to-back as well.
2 back-to-back ones?
Yeah.
Well, at least they're getting the races in for how late we're getting started because of all this coronavirus.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, yeah, it is a little muddier out there.
Mm-hmm.
Good choice.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got a good flow to it.
The first half of the wood section, everybody was moving through pretty good. It's not too tight, and you're just kind of moving through it all. Then you start to get all to all those steep downhills and uphills, and then a couple of big mud holes and some root sections, and it just took it out of everybody. Because I didn't really catch anybody in the first half, and all of a sudden I'd start catching guys that were stuck and hung up on stuff and tipped over and lost the will to do it. They're just sitting on the side, you know.
Yeah, I could tell at the end there were some younger kids walking around still fully geared up, checking things out, and then there's the old boys like us, shirts off, guts out.
Yeah.
Just whooped. This is cool. I wish I could have rode this.
This was fun. You would have done good in this section, I think.
I want to see. He said there were a couple uphills, I believe.
Mm-hmm. They're coming. They had a guy calling lines on lap 1, and then I didn't see him the rest of the day. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, or what.
You ever look at those guys and wonder, is he messing with me, or is he helping me
Every time. Another C-Class, send him off the edge over here.
Yeah.
Keep him out of the way.
Every time I've seen one of them, I do what they say and it works out, but I can't help but mentally hesitate for a second.
So that doesn't look steep on the GoPro, and it wasn't too bad, but there's a bunch of roots in there that you wouldn't want to tip over on.
That's one of them that he was talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't that steep. I mean, there's 2 or 3 more that are pretty steep. I think I get hung up on one of them on this lap.
blew up any of the tape. That's good.
Towards the end, there was some tape missing. Ooh. Back brake locked up. Just like, oh. A few trees across, not much, nothing crazy, all pretty small. That was one of them. That was a bit steep. I mean, it doesn't look like it on the GoPro, but.
Oh yeah, it never does. It gets a little bit tighter.
Yeah, towards the end, this kind of like 2/3 of the way is where things start to get a little bit difficult. And kind of towards the end, you're just tired, and it gets tighter and tighter. And
right, you want that in the beginning.
yeah. They were so close, the cross test and the enduro test. So I'd hear the double A guys or the pro guys on the cross test, but they weren't far. They're only 100 yards from me. I'd hear them ripping by, and I thought somebody was coming up on me. It got a little confusing in there at times when those guys were just like hauling the mail right next to you. You know?
You start looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, my coaching was paying off a little bit.
When?
Well, 2 times.
Yeah. After the fact doesn't count. Well, you should have done.
I don't know what you're doing the rest of the time.
This is pretty steep, and there's a lot of roots in that too.
You wouldn't want to go off right there. Oh,
there's a few
the
spots.
creek.
Yeah, there's a few spots you wouldn't want to go off. It didn't ever really get too bad. Like there's one central rut, and it never got too deep to where you couldn't use it. I just stuck with the rut all day.
It's a rough corner. It looks so much easier just watching it, I'll tell you that.
Easier than what?
Easier than having to ride it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like I would have been going twice as fast.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, I believe you.
Wide open.
That's how you got in this place in the first place. Broken leg, pins and screws.
Also true, also true. Wow, look at that rut.
Yeah, there's some deep ones.
Yeah, like you said though, there's one line and you can get in if you can stay in it.
Yeah, yeah. And there's enough roots and everything that you can keep traction on. This got deep. I just took that one every time and it worked, so I just kept doing it.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go either. But worked out for the most part, and then I tipped over. But only for a second. I only lost a second or two there. I'm happy with that.
No, I thought you were going to get jammed up there.
Mm-hmm. I did too, and you're not going around them anywhere.
Mm-mm. Let's see. I have no idea where you're at right now.
By the creek there.
It's like the 4th time I've seen the creek.
Yeah, I don't know, about 2/3 of the way through. We're kind of coming up towards the end. This is the hard section with the mud holes and the steep climbs. And we kept going down right next to the creek and then coming back up this big bank, Oh, and this was slippery too. This guy took my line and I'm like, I'll just go left. And it didn't really work out for me. I got stuck on a root and just tires spinning and about flip it coming over it, but
thank God for electric. Whoa, buddy! Hey!
Wide open, right?
Yeah, wide open.
Taking that coaching. That worked out. I lost a bit of time, but not too much.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
Both of those could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, they could have. And it's because I had somebody else in front of me. If I would have, stall it, let this guy by.
Yeah, we talked about consistency.
Yeah, I did all right for the first few, and then I threw one lap right out the window. And I missed the place in front of me, the guy in front of me by 4 seconds.
4 seconds, I think, yeah.
And the guy in front of him by 34 seconds or something. Like, I just would not have blown that one lap. I'd be a couple places higher.
Was that where you went down, what, 4 times?
Yeah, one lap. Did it all. I made the mistake of adjusting the idle. I should know better. I even knew better at the time. Like, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm doing it. That screwed me up. Wore the wrong goggles into the woods. Once it got a little darker, I couldn't see anything. And then once you fall over a few times, you're just watching. It just didn't go well after picking that bike up so many times.
I heard you when you pulled it. I know what you're talking about, because you pulled in and stopped, and it was like, wah!
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I guess I didn't realize you adjusted it at that point. I thought, yeah, maybe you tipped over and something got wonky.
Yeah. There's a chain link bridge there.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, neither of the bridges are bad, but like I said, you wouldn't want to end up in the bottom of the creek there.
No, sir. And this must be...
There's another bridge there. Yeah, we're getting close now. I think we did this section in last year's. This is towards the end, I think, of last year's section. It was a very similar route. I don't know if it was exactly the same, but...
Did we come out in the same spot last year? The far corner?
I think so. I actually don't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either. I'm so tired by the time
Yeah.
that part comes. I don't...
Lap 1, I know exactly where I'm going, how many guys I passed, what I need to do. In lap 4, I'm like, I don't know. I was out there. I drove around for a while.
I just need to limp this thing home.
Went my body home. Ugh.
Yeah, you're not looking good today.
Nah, not feeling good today.
You're never really looking that great. If I'm
Never
being honest.
looking good. A little slick through here, some big rocks, but nothing too crazy. It's just kind of tight, and you're exhausted at this point.
This is always weird to me when there's like shade sun, shade sun,
Yeah.
shade sun. You just can't see everything. Just hope for the best.
Yeah. That's pretty much C-class, right? Hope
Yeah.
for the best. Point in that direction, turn twist throttle, and see what happens.
See if I make it to the end of this thing. Ooh.
That tree.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with it, but I could see it taking you out.
Yeah, I could see that kicking the back end.
Mm-hmm. Taking the front out.
Even worse. The back end you can recover. The front end you're not recovering. Yeah, this section was awesome. Oh, I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. It's a good feeling, but it's not close enough. You can see the end, and then you're like, oh, I still got a couple minutes, I think.
True. You have no idea how long you're going to be wrapping around the outside of the track. Wow.
Just slippery. Everything was slippery. You put your foot down and just...
Wow, that's crazy. You kept it up, at least in this video.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
watch
I'm
the
going
other
to post my lousy one.
Oh, you should. When I get back, we should put my best runs up and your worst runs up, and then compare
Yeah.
what I did right and what you did wrong.
Okay. Yeah, side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that idea.
I think we have 19 subscribers now. I don't want to, embarrass them with Another bridge. Seemed like there was a bunch of bridges. He said 2, but it seemed like there were a bunch.
Maybe there are only 2 that had real consequences.
That could be.
Bam.
That was it. Last lap, I am whooped. That was a great race, though. It was fun. Glad to get out there. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you at the next race.
Adios.
I posted my worst. I posted my worst.
You actually did it. This is the Andy I know.
Yeah. There's nothing even there. Fuck.
He's taking that for a
Oh, a little somersault. That was the first lap in, and I just took it slow the rest of the day.
I hope this goes for 20 minutes.
I think there's only 4 of them.
There was nothing there.
that's every crash. Every crash there was nothing there. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's awesome.